What do you do when obedience makes you look foolish? When following God makes you misunderstood? When doing the right thing makes you the joke of the crowd? Today, we're talking about a man who built something that had never been seen before. In a world that had never seen rain, a man who obeyed for decades, while everyone else laughed. This is the story of Noah, and it's a story about obedience in a mocking world. The Bible describes Noah's generation as corrupt and violent. Morality had collapsed. Integrity was rare. Darkness had become normal. Imagine living in a society where doing wrong is celebrated and doing right is strange. That was Noah's world. But Scripture says something powerful. Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. Out of an entire generation, one man stood out, not because he was perfect, but because he was obedient. You don't need everyone to approve of you. You just need God to recognize you. God gave Noah an unusual instruction. Build an ark, a massive boat, not near an ocean, not near a sea, not during a storm, but on dry land. And here's the part that makes this even more powerful. At that time, rain had never fallen the way it would during the flood. So Noah was building protection for something people had never experienced. Can you imagine the questions? What are you doing? Why are you building this? Are you crazy? Obedience will sometimes require you to prepare for what others can't see. God didn't give Noah a commitment. He gave him instructions, detailed measurements, specific materials, clear commands, and Noah obeyed. Building the ark didn't take days. It likely took decades. Decades of hammering, decades of measuring, decades of being watched. Every nail driven into that ark was a declaration of faith. Every plank placed was an act of obedience. And imagine the laughter, children pointing, neighbors whispering, people calling him foolish. Obedience is easy when it's applauded. It's hard when it's mocked. But Noah kept building because obedience is not based on public opinion. It's based on divine instruction. There is a loneliness that comes with standing apart. When everyone else is compromising and you refuse. When everyone else is cutting corners and you stay honest. When everyone else is following trends and you follow truth. No, I had to endure isolation. But here's the truth. It's better to stand alone with God than to blend in without him. Sometimes obedience isolates you before it elevates you. The ark probably looked ridiculous until the first drop of rain fell. Then one day, the sky changed. Clouds gathered. Thunder rolled. Rain began to fall. And suddenly, the same ark that was mocked became salvation. The same obedience that looked foolish became wisdom. The same man who was ridiculed was now secure. God shut the door of the ark, and what was once a construction project became protection. The world outside panicked, but inside the ark, there was peace. That's what obedience does. It builds shelter before the storm. We live in a world that often mocks discipline, mocks purity, mocks faith, mocks integrity, mocks obedience. If you stand for truth, you may be labeled extreme. If you choose righteousness, you may be called old-fashioned. If you follow conviction, you may be misunderstood. But remember Noah, the crowd laughed until the rain fell. Obedience may not be popular, but it is powerful. The world may not understand why. Pray consistently. Refuse certain compromises. Stay disciplined. Guard your values, but you are building something. You are building an ark of character, an ark of integrity, an ark of faith, and when life's storms arrive, you'll be grateful you kept building. Noah teaches us this. You don't need applause to obey. You don't need validation to follow God. You don't need understanding to stay faithful. You just need conviction, because one day, what looks foolish will look wise. What looks unnecessary will look essential. What looks extreme will look prepared. Keep building. Keep obeying. Keep trusting. Even if they laugh. Even if they question. Even if they misunderstand. Because obedience in a mocking world is never wasted. And when the rain comes, you'll be ready.